A stunning war of words is taking place in Wayne County tonight after a judge dismissed charges against a man accused of murdering his 9-month-old daughter. Tonight, Prosecutor Kym Worthy is taking aim at the judge who tossed the case, saying she was wrong to do so. But attorneys for the defendant say it was Detroit police and prosecutors who dropped the ball. 7 investigator Ross Jones is talking to the family who fears their baby girl is being forgotten.
She had blood force trauma to the head, injuries, skull fractures.
The family of 9-month-old Kinsley Evans says the toddler was killed by her father, Charles Evans. And last year, Wayne County's prosecutor charged him with her murder. But on Monday, Wayne County Judge Cynthia Miller dismissed the charges against Evans after it was revealed mid-trial that video evidence hadn't been turned over to Evans' lawyers.
Dismissal of a baby's death, a homicide, that's not an equitable resolution.
The judge's decision was not a popular one, says Evans' defense attorney Adam Clements, but he insists it was the right one.
Regardless of how you feel about what the trial's outcome was supposed to be, it's still supposed to take place in accordance to a specific process, and that's with justice and fairness in mind.
At issue was Detroit police body camera footage, Clements says, from prior police visits to the home in the months before Kinsley was killed. On the third day of trial last week, it was discovered that some of that video evidence had not been shared by police.
I submit that there was information on the body cams that were tremendously helpful to Mr. Evans, and he was denied that opportunity to utilize that information.
With some witnesses having already testified, Judge Miller ruled to dismiss the homicide and child abuse charges filed against Evans. The family says that was the wrong decision.
Honestly, I thought she was prejudiced.
And the Wayne County prosecutor agrees. In a statement released this afternoon, Kym Worthy's office says Judge Miller should have recused herself from the case because of her connection to Charles Evans' attorney. He works for the same law office owned by attorney Todd Perkins, who represented Judge Miller during her own legal problems last year when the judge carried a loaded firearm into Detroit Metro Airport through security. She would ultimately plead no contest and was sentenced to 90 days probation.
I don't think that there's been any special preferential treatment for her for this particular matter.
The prosecutor's office said today that Judge Miller showed obvious bias during the course of the trial and that the discovery violation did not warrant dismissal of the case.
The ball got dropped. The ball got dropped. And I really don't understand what the body cam has to do with it. This baby isn't here. The body cam wasn't going to show the bruises on her. You know, the bruises was on her when we looked at her on that gurney bed.
I expressed my condolences to baby Kinsley's mom, as well as her maternal grandmother, throughout the first time that I met them and also during the trial. And frankly, they were robbed of an opportunity to be presented with all the evidence.
Well, Worthy's office is vowing an appeal of this ruling tonight, saying that Judge Miller demonstrated an obvious bias during the trial by repeatedly asking inappropriate questions of witnesses. We did reach out to Judge Miller for comment on Worthy's statement, but have not heard back so far. Charles Evans' defense attorney Adam Clements said Judge Miller was under no obligation to recuse herself from this case and that her decision to dismiss the charges was legally sound. He said the prosecution failed to provide not just video evidence, but other relevant records too. You can read his full statement and the prosecutor's right now on our website at WXYZ.com. But a war of words developing here in a 9-month-old who was killed, the family concerned that she's going to be lost in the shuffle, but this has become a mess very quickly.
And you can absolutely understand their frustration because, like you said, that baby is dead. They're still going to want justice for that.
Absolutely.
All right, Ross, thank you so much.